Right, Ronnie Boy update. Now, since the first episode, all I've done is I've joined the wings. I'll tell you about my rationale about that in a moment, but I've just sheeted the centre. That went very well, and it has made the wing very strong. Other thing I did was I actually did it so you notice all the tabs are still on, because I just found it easier to do the sheeting and make sure that I didn't get any twists when I was joining it. What I was really pleased about is when they butted together, there was no misalignment whatsoever. Very pleased about that. Now, obviously, let me tell you, the reason I have joined it is because on our original Ronnie Boy, obviously we had a fuselage which we just literally wedged on the front. I want to do something similar because I want to make it quick, easy. So battery, this is, which I picked up off the internet, and I'll put a link in the bottom. This is a 3.7 volt 1000 milliamp hour. I'll give you the dimensions, because I always find that the dimensions on some of the manufacturers, so it's 50 millimeters long, it is it's 20 millimeters wide, it's 10 millimeters thick, and it weighs 19 grams. Now, June Freak, Pug Twisty, it's going to last hours on one of those, just running two of the nice servos from Angel Wings. Also, it comes with some sort of circuit protection. I think I got 4 of these, including delivery, with something like 19 quid. So this is what I want to make the fuselage around. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to make it too narrow, because I've got a little bit of a theory about that, which when we go on to building the fuselage, I'm going to speak about. So, and obviously tell you a bit more about my dad, Ron. So, let me tell you where I am with the fuselage and what we're going to do. So we're going proper prototyping now. Right, there she is, quickly gashed out of some scrap B&Q Depron. This is 3mm, I've not gone for 9mm, I think 3mm is too thick. Let's have a go at putting this together to come up with a shape and it fits the fuselage. And the other thing we need to think about is C of G. Right, so I am just going to use the glue gun, because it's even quicker than U-Hoo pour. So that one, at the moment, this is all guesswork, but tell you what I'm going to do. I've got the nose section here, and I've just made 5 of these and a block for it. So what I intend to do is I am just going to quickly smash these out, because I have a plan of what I think I'd like the fuselage to do. I've got to say, if Ryobi are watching, I do like this, because this is the same battery, because the Ryobi stuff you can obviously just use on any of their appliance. Is it their One Plus or something? I don't know. Yeah, One Plus. So I could be using that battery on my hedge trimmer this afternoon if the wife finds me. Right. But it's very good for this type of thing. Holds the heat quite well. One tip I would say is, if you're going to use something like that, particularly this Ryobi one, you leave that on there for 5 or 6 minutes, the glue gets very hot, so I actually find it's better to take it off. Hey, take it off, and then so there's my nose done. So what we're going to do, could this be the fastest build in the world? Let's put that on there like that. So tell you what we're going to do, I'm then going to stick that to there like that, like so, and then you'll see what it is. I mean, not being funny, if I muck this one up, I can always go and make another one, can't I, in Depron? Right, so I think we've had this conversation before, but I think I might have an artistic brain more than a engineering brain, in as much as, like I've been saying to you, is I cannot look at some of those drawings and just put the measurements here. Like I speak to Andy and he goes, oh yeah, you need you know, 12 mil this, 12 mil, and I can't do that. I'm actually finding this better to do. Then I can transfer all the dimensions to a computer. Right, now then, I have done that for that reason. If anybody ever knows how to get rid of stringy glue, hot glue. So what I'm thinking of is a little top tip, just in case, because that's the easy one to do, is accidentally drop a knife against these type of things, so you've got them out. So if I was to do, if I put that there like that, what I'm thinking of is I would just like to slide this along so I get a nice shape. That's what I'm looking to do. Possibly, yeah. I'm going to take the width down on these. So I've got the height right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the, I've got the height right, I just want to take the width down just to see if I can make it less blocky looking. And the other thing is I've got plenty of Depron, the worst comes to the worst, so I'll just mark one up and then we'll cut it later. Right, so let me just see. Ah, that's better. That's better. What I didn't want was that sort of, I wanted to make it more of an aerodynamic shape. So that looks cracking. Now the only thing is that it's going to come back. This is just in case. Oh, look at that, perfect. But so if I mark that now, sorry, I'm rambling a bit, but I am actually doing this as I'm talking to you. So that fits in there a treat. Also, it means if I need to add any ballast, I've got ballast I can add as well. So I'm just going to mark that. Yeah, it's not perfect, but once we've got this glued on, then I'll show you the next bit. Let me just whack this on and then I'll get back to you. Right, gang, there you go. So I have added some little bits at the back. Now, obviously, if these work, what I'll do is take the dimensions and then we're going to go over to, because I did all this on Coral Draw. I've not got Lightburn, I have Inkscape, ain't got a clue, but Wing Helper I'm loving. Coral Draw I'm getting used to, which is what, this is Coral Draw. I made this in Coral Draw. So the moment of truth live. So, oh, just sorry, I took the shape of the #1 rib and that's how we've got this shape here. So I just literally went to took the rib #1 from Wing Helper, the DX files which I use for the laser cutting Coral Draw, transferred that to a new page, and then I then designed this around that rib. So in theory, don't swear, Nick, don't swear. Come on! Right, sorry, I just need a moment there. And we're back in the room. Right, as you can most likely tell, all right, as a prototype, I'm very pleased with that. So, thoughts are, we need to jig this up now. I need to find out what the C of G is, and then we need to come up with a plan. I'm going to infill the bottom, I think, with a little bit of scrap of this, so that we can just start to see where the C is. I'm going to stick a couple of servos in, because that's the other thing we've got to think about. Designing a servo tray, and then some sort of hatch. But, right. I ain't got time to work. I'll be honest with you, it's not the prettiest looking thing, is it? But it's mine. Right, let me just have a quick, let me just get this jigged up. I'm going to work out the C of G. Let me get this jigged up, and let's talk about weight and balance, and then what we're going to do with the idea of where we're going with the servos, and the next step. Right, there you go. So I've just added some sheeting to the bottom, and just the top and bottom of here, just to give it a bit of dimensional stability while we're just mucking around with the C of G. So I'm just going to go down and calculate the C of G. And then we'll crack on. I think once we've got the C of G sorted, a couple of things I need to talk about. Fuselage design on this particular design, which is quite important if we're going to do any DLG with it. And but yeah, let me just get the C of G. Let's get the balance with this battery sorted, and we can crack on. Well, that's not bad. I have made some. I've just been on the laser and had a lash round with coral draw, and I've got so many ideas in my head. You just need to calm down a little bit. I'll tell you what I have done is I've got this sort of a hardy wood style balsa. Thing I need to note is this needed adjusting slightly, because what I hadn't factored in was the sheeting on top of the leading edge. So that's something I just need to look at, whether perhaps if I use rib 2, anyway, I need to look at that. It was only a little bit, tiny little bit of sanding. So let's put this together. So I have just sinoed these ply plates to the inside, and then realised I've made a massive engineering boo-boo, because I've made the obviously this F3 was sheet to sheet, so I'm going to have to reduce that by the thickness of this ply plate. Oh, you live and learn. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit more about Ron. So he smashes on with the Ronnie Boy, and yeah, he got all right. He was doing all right, and then he then joined the club, Vale of Whitehorse Model Club, and I was quite relieved, because I thought, well, that's me. I don't have to worry about what he's getting up to. And about a year later, he rings up and says, "So are you flying today?" It's one Sat weekend. I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go out with my F3K. Oh, F3K, oh, good." He says, "I've got something to show you." Oh dear. So bless him. He pitched up with a long shot. Now, those of you that don't know anything about F3K, the long shot was, when it first came out, was one of the first real production, barring the Salzer build-up one I got. That was sort of a fairly, one of the first production type gliders. And so he came over this, and I helped him set it up. and of course it was ailerons. So you know, basically I said to him, Dad, let's not worry about flaps or brakes or anything like that now, let's just have it as a glider. So to be fair, I launched it for him, and yeah, we got it up, and he was flying it around, and then of course he was getting a little bit overconfident, and he was flying it towards him. Just like so. I'm there like this. I'm right. All right, Dad, it's just that height. Leave it, and it was just floating towards me. Leave it. I was going like, leave it, and just at the last second, he'd obviously just pushed the nose forward slightly, because he's like stood slightly to one side, and I'm like ready to catch this thing, and I just see the nose drop slightly. Oh God. All of a sudden that's accelerated. I ain't catching that. So literally, as this thing is heading towards my head, I just go like this, dive to the floor, and smash his Ron straight in the face. Smashed all his denture up in the front. I honestly don't know how. I mean, he was just like, oh, took the bits out, so he's got a front tooth missing, and he just flew for the rest of the day with his tooth missing. But to be fair, we had quite a laugh, and towards the end, I did set him up with not like flap for thermaling and stuff like that. I set him up just for a switch, brakes. We got it trimmed quite nicely. So he went away, buoyed with the excitement that he was going to come to an F3K comp with me. Let me carry on with this, and I'll tell you a bit more later. So this is F2, which I have. That does fit very well, actually. I'm really pleased with that. What I'm not pleased about is the way I've managed to leave all the glue on the edge. So let me just... Right, okay. So that actually fits on there. I'm going to do that there. That fits on a treat. So, a little bit of Sino. Right, okay, so we've got that one. This is the F3, which is going to sit here. I need to check this because this does make this a lot bigger. I think this might be my... oh. That's not going to work, is it, Nick? Oh, you've proper cocked that up. Oh, Jesus. Right, let me show you. I have put those formers in, and And the big mistake I made was adding the ply formers on the inside and not allowing that and the shape of the former. Here's a prototype. Now look, I haven't glued this in, that is just wedged in place. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm happy with the position of it, I'm just going to add the sheeting all along the bottom. That's going to give us a load of strength. And then I can start looking at what I'm going to do at the top here, because what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the servo sat here and just run the control wires out through this fairing and then out like so. So I'm going to do the do the bottom, might do this front bit. I mean, I'm pleased with it, but it just goes to show you every time I make one of these is you've got to be thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. Right, so I've just got the bottom just, it's not glued by the way, the fuselage is not glued to the wing, I'm just using it to get the right shape. Tell you what I found on Amazon the other day, who remembers these? Dead chuffed to get them back, I really like those. I'll put a link in the description if I can remember. Right, I'm just going to get this off and we'll have a chat. Right, moment of truth. I've taken all the pins and the clamps out. Oh, there you go. So that's gone really well. As like I say, this bit, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. Let me just show you the reason for that. Right guys, update. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, I've been doing a bit of sanding. Right, there you go. I'm going to call it a day again because I've done a fair bit on this fuselage. If I'm absolutely honest, it's not gone quite the way I wanted. I like the shape, but what I didn't take into account was the doublers that I put on the inside, which had a major effect on how the formers fitted. In fact, I've got a spare F3 if anybody wants one. So the little thing to learn there is, you know, how things end up knocking on and affecting each other. So all I've literally done, when you saw the fuselage size, all I've done is you saw me add that. I've just added the top. Now I've reduced this. Remember, this is the bit that goes at the back of the wing. So what I've ended up doing is I've given myself another hatch here. This is where the servos are going to go, and I've added a hatch in the front because what I'm thinking is because I've made this a little bit too narrow. I think I'm out now by about 5. Yeah, I'm actually out by 5 mil either side, so that's 10 mil I've lost somewhere. So that is something I'm going to need to address, but that's half the fun, isn't it? So receiver in the front, servos here, and then the servos are going to run through the back of here down to the wing. So I'm now going to give that, I'm going to give this a miss. So just don't forget, if you're really keen on having a go at doing your own wing designing, Wing Helper, quote Nick 30. That's Nick 30 till October the 1st. That's a 30% discount. It's well worth having. You can have 7 days free to try it, but I'll be honest with you, for me, and I know I keep saying this, but not only Wing Helper, I think possibly if I can, the next video I'm going to quickly drop in, I've had lots and lots of comments or personal messages, particularly on Facebook and stuff like that, on the Angel Wings designer group, is about making this. So I'm going to drop a little video in, it's just a quick one of me on the PC, how you can actually make this. It's dead easy. It's a little bit labour intensive, but it's not labour intensive. You'll see if you watch the video, but I'm gonna, for my mates in Australia, particularly the guys out there that have asked for it, I'm just going to do this. So that's going to be my next video. I was just going to drop a little quick video about how to do this, and then the next video on the Ronnie Boy is I'm going to take the tags off, I'm going to cover the wing, and then we are going to talk about just installing the gear and doing the aileron. So basically it's the finishing video.